Why are coincidences lies? A secret. Very disturbing, because it's something you know. That person who entered your life, it wasn't a coincidence. That job, that city, you sitting at that table in that cafe that night, none of it was a coincidence. Accepting this makes you lose something. Do you want to lose it? No. A question. I'm not asking it right now, but when that question comes, somewhere inside you, you will already know its answer, and that answer will disturb you. Let's begin. Think of what you call a coincidence. That moment that changed your life, that person, that conversation. I bet you, that moment was not a coincidence. You called it. You don't know how you called it, but you called it. You hear two voices. The first says, nonsense. The other says, go on. Listen. Listen to the second voice. Think, the person who has influenced you the most. How did you meet that person? Think. Leave the romantic story aside. Leave the we met by coincidence version aside. Which compartment of your life were you in at that moment? What were you looking for? What had you lost? What did you want to see? And right at that moment, that person appeared. Is this a coincidence? Or were you emitting a frequency at that moment that would attract exactly that person? I don't want you to answer. Just stop. Most people, when they look at their lives, don't see anything. They don't see because they don't want to look. Because if they see, they would have to accept that their life is not made of coincidences, but is produced from within themselves. And this is both the most empowering thing and the most frightening thing, because if you called it, you also called the good things, but also the painful ones. Right now, somewhere inside you, a name has appeared, a face, a moment. Put it aside. We will come back to it. Let me tell you what Carl Jung said, not as a theory, as an observation. Jung spoke with people for years, all kinds of people. In all of them, he saw the same thing. What you do not face inside yourself, you live outside. What you run from finds you. What you don't want to see appears before you, in human form, in the form of an event, in the form of bad luck. You are not constantly encountering the wrong people. You are encountering the same person with different faces. And as you read this, a name came to your mind. Is this a coincidence? No. Question. Don't rush past the question. Look at that recurring thing in your life, in relationships, at work, in friendships. Always the same moment, different stage, same feeling, unchanging outcome. Have you ever noticed? Most people don't, because if you notice, you can't blame luck. You become the only one responsible. Think, just for a moment, your best decision in life. How did you make it? Through logic, or by feeling that something was pulling you? Where did that pull come from? From outside or from inside? And right here, most people stop, because if they continue, they have to take responsibility. You are brave. You will continue, because somewhere you were already curious. Is this a coincidence? No. Think, you're in a meeting, dozens of people, there's noise, there's movement, and someone across the room says something. You don't even hear it clearly, but something turns inside you. Before you decide, before you think, something inside you has already moved. Where did that movement come from? Think, a profile on an app, among thousands of profiles, and one stops you. Why that one? Why that face? Why that moment? You say, coincidence, but something took you to that profile, not your finger, something inside you. You don't choose people. Your unresolved thing chooses. As you read this sentence, somewhere there is a voice saying yes. Do you hear that voice? Subscribe to my channel and find more content for yourself.
Imagine
You're on a first date. Not 5 minutes have passed, and you already feel something. Not exactly attraction. Something older. As if you've lived this conversation before. As if you already know how this person will disappoint you. And still, you stay, because it feels familiar. Feels like home. Even if home was never safe. Remember, at the beginning, I said most people don't want to see something. That thing is this. What you find attractive is most often what is familiar. And what is familiar is not always what is good. Don't limit this to relationships. Look at your work. How many times have you worked under the same type of boss? How many times have you felt the same dynamic? You worked a little harder to be valued. Proved yourself a little more. Each time you said, this time is different. Different company. The boss changed. The boss inside you didn't. That cycle I mentioned at the beginning. That thing you produce from within yourself. Now you see it. You see it in every area. In relationships, at work, in family, in how you talk to yourself. Always the same feeling. Different stage. The question is this. If this isn't a coincidence, what is? It's easy to say this. Your subconscious is attracting it. Your frequency is high. The universe is sending it. I'm not going to say any of those. Those comfort you. You didn't come here to be comforted. Someone who wants comfort would go watch a slime video. The truth is, much more ordinary, much more personal, much more disturbing. You are emitting something, constantly, not with words, with pauses, with eye contact, with trusting too quickly, with speaking too late, with giving without being asked, with withdrawing without being asked. These signals are ordinary. They attract specific people. Think, someone in need. Find someone who is needed, without a single word, before the first conversation. In that glance, in that half-second hesitation, something recognized something. Something responded. You called it chemistry, but it wasn't chemistry. It was resonance. You don't fall for people. You recognize them. In them, you recognize something unresolved in yourself. Now there's something I haven't told you. The most disturbing part of this video, and most people come this far and stop here, because because if they continue, they have to accept something, a need they have hidden, even from themselves. That need leaks out, always, not with words, with everything. The way you trust someone too quickly, the way you never trust anyone, the way your voice sounds when you say, no one understands, the way your eyes look when you say, it's fine. You know those people who understand you immediately. They don't understand you. They see the part of you that you haven't even solved yet. That part attracts them, directs you towards them. Why? Come with me, because that part keeps asking. Stop. Keeps asking the understanding person. Keeps asking the distant person. Keeps asking the person who will disappoint you. The answer doesn't come. You ask again, with a different name. The same question. This isn't bad luck. This is a cycle. Your cycle. And the cycle is asking something. There are exactly three things. Three mechanisms. Working silently. Always. First, there is an image inside you. Not physical. An emotional image. A template showing how the person you're looking for will make you feel. This template formed early. It formed without you being aware of it. It formed from those who were supposed to see you. Sometimes from those who saw. Sometimes from those who didn't. Now, in every room you search for that template. Without deciding. Without being aware. Go on a date. The first 5 minutes. You already feel something. Not, this is an interesting person. Something deeper. As if familiar. As if you already know how it will go. Yet you proceed. Because familiar feels safe. Even if it's not safe. You keep choosing the same person with a different face. You call this love. Second, you omit what you haven't resolved. Not with words. With everything about you. With giving more than necessary. With never asking for anything. With apologizing too quickly. With never setting boundaries. These are signals. There are specific people who receive these signals. Someone new starts at work. Everyone is kind. This one person seems to understand you immediately. You didn't explain anything. It's as if they already know. This isn't a coincidence. You were already emitting. They were just tuned to that frequency. People who understand you immediately usually understand you well enough that you can't be fixed. This makes you feel safe. Yet this is the most dangerous feeling. Third, the quietest, the most merciless. You repeat until you understand. Not to fix it, to see it. That's why the same fight in a different relationship. That's why the same distance in a different friendship. That's why the same, I was almost understood but not quite feeling. Every time you ended a relationship, you felt relieved. You said, this time I will choose someone different. 6 months later, the same feeling, different name, that same feeling. You didn't leave that mold behind. You carried it with you. Subscribe to my channel and find more content for yourself. This mold doesn't stay in relationships. It spreads everywhere. At work, how many times have you worked under the same type of manager? You work extra to be valued. How many times? In family, how many years have you played the same role? The one who holds everything together, or the one loved from a distance, or the one conditionally accepted. And you accepted this by saying, my family is like this. In friendships, who reaches out more? Who disappears in difficult times? You got used to it. You said, there are people like this. In how you talk to yourself, that voice, that specific tone. Where did you first hear it? Whose voice was that? In your decisions, that hesitation, that inability to be sure you've earned the right to reach out. Asking, do I deserve this? Before wanting what you want. The mold is not in your relationship. It's in you. It comes with you everywhere you go. You changed the stage. You changed the people. You might have even changed the city. The same feeling. Again, that same feeling. This isn't bad luck. This is a message. The message always asks the same thing. Right now, there are two things inside you. One says, okay, but how do I change it? I won't answer that question now, because that's not the right question yet. The right question is this. What am I ready to see? The person who changed your life. Think about that person. What exactly were you carrying at that moment? What were you looking for? What did you want to have seen? And did that person see exactly that thing? Or did they affect you so much precisely because they didn't see that thing? Both are possible. Both describe you. That person didn't come by coincidence. You were ready. You just didn't know you were ready. That readiness is invisible from the outside. It's only felt. Someone who turns toward you at that exact moment feels it. You didn't invite them, but you called them. Think, a relationship you are still maintaining. What is in this relationship? What is it showing you? You don't have to answer. Just look. See, some people stand as mirrors in your life, but instead of looking at the mirror, you try to clean the glass. Let me tell you something honest. There is someone in your life right now. That person is there for a reason. Not necessarily a good reason, a true reason, because there is still something inside you waiting to be seen. And that person is responding to that thing. Positively, negatively, both can teach the same lesson. You already know who it is. As you watched this video, a face appeared. A name, a feeling. It's not a coincidence. This isn't either. That name didn't come to your mind by coincidence. Something inside you brought it forward. Now you need to ask yourself something. What is that person there for? What are they showing you? Don't answer right away. Just ask. Believing in coincidences is easy. Coincidence doesn't force you to take responsibility. Coincidence says, this isn't my fault. Coincidence says, that's just how luck went. Coincidence leaves you alone. Comfortable people don't change. You opened this video, not because you were comfortable. Somewhere you felt that something wasn't right. That feeling brought you here. That's not a coincidence either. The truth is, every significant person in your life was the answer to a question you didn't ask out loud, but asked with your entire being. Life answered. You thought the answer was a coincidence. When Jung saw this, he wrote the following.
I'm paraphrasing.
What you do not face inside yourself comes to you on the outside, and you call it fate. But it is not fate. It is you, the unseen you inside. What you ran from found you. What you didn't want to see appeared before you. The question you were afraid to ask was asked by someone else, and you called all of it coincidence because the alternative was too big. What you call a coincidence actually carries your signature. Look at your life. Look at it as a whole. The people who have influenced you the most, the moments that hurt you the most, the breaks that grew you the most, they all have one thing in common. You. I'm not blaming. This is power. Because if you called it, you can call something different. Good things. But first you have to see the voice that stopped you in that room, the photo that stopped you on that profile, the glance that turned you in that meeting. These were not things coming from outside. They were things coming from inside, finding a match outside. You don't choose people. You are looking for the version of yourself that you want to be chosen. That version has not yet been fully seen. That's why it keeps searching. That's why it keeps asking. That's why the same moment comes with a different stage until it is seen. By whom? The answer to that question is not the answer of this video. But carrying this question changes everything. I bet you, after seeing this pattern, there is something else. Why do you see it but can't leave it? Why do you understand it but make the same choice? There is another layer as to why seeing is not enough. That layer is much older. But for now, stop here. Now you are closing the main loop. At the beginning of this video, I said something. I said, you called it. Maybe you didn't believe it then, or you wanted to believe it but it scared you. Now look at that moment in your life, that person, that break, that door. Now tell me, was it really a coincidence? Final question. You already know the answer to this question. We have been building it throughout the video. I will not give you an answer because the answer is in you, So when you look at your life right now, what are you avoiding seeing? The thing you are avoiding, in what guise is it beside you? Come with me. In the next video, I'm talking about you. Subscribe to my channel and find more content for yourself.